Hello everyone, and this is Terry, and I am starting my very late monthly update, orchid collection update for late November. I'm starting right here in my kitchen really quickly. I have here some Phalaenopsis and Bobos here. There is my Echinolabium that has a spike right there, and some others. Here's my Graniferum that I finally think has stabilized. It has stopped, well, it's still losing some leaves, but I believe it is slowly getting a root system. The smaller kikis around the base seem to be rooted in as well, so I'm thinking positively about that. Then as we move over this way, here is my Amoeba abracadabra, Dendrobium amoeba abracadabra, which is a hybrid Laturia. And next we will go outside. Not outside, but we're going to go in the greenhouse. Be right back. Before I did that, I wanted to come out here since these are in my collection and these are not in the greenhouse. This is the sun porch where my collection used to be before I got the greenhouse, which is right there. So I do have a few around here, mostly Laturia dendrobiums here. A few Cattleyas here. That has a sheath. Here's another Laturia. This is Spectrata alba. And other Cattleya versavilas, not epis, but encyclias that are here. Maturing their growths and getting a bit of a rest. This is a division of wolf leopard. This is one of my Maxillaria. That's the variabilis. It's that clone. This is my Maui coconut, which is Tenifolia times sanguinea. That is recovering. And here's my luteola, Cattleya luteola, that bloomed in the spring. It has put up a growth in here, and there's another growth that's coming up right over there on the edge of that pot. Excuse the light. This is twilight, kind of late afternoon, and this is my BC Bills Worsley, which has sheaths on it, some filling up. So that should be blooming soon. And there's my Diacria that I need to divide. It's got those two new growths, and there's my one Cymbidium. And over here, these are some things that really need attention to as far as scale-wise. Not these over here. This is one of my Suncoast variations. And this is that Cattleya, which is Majestic Light. It has another pseudobulb that has a sheath on it. And I think I started to see some roots on that as well. These Phalaenopsis are doing pretty good. That's one that I got from Mitzi. And here's another one that was actually in the show. And it is extending the end there. And it's also giving me another spike right there at the base that you can see. This is a no ID, but it's very, very pretty. And here are two divisions that I mounted. And this, I believe, is a Mark Jones. Yeah, Mark Jones times itself. So, that's what I have out here. And next thing, I'll go into the greenhouse. This is that plant that I got from Nat. It's his namesake plant. BC in Bourbon. Hope to see a bloom on that. That's beautiful. Okay, and this is that Den Nobile no ID that I need to give to Jerry. This is my Den Joyce Kelly that is across. And yeah, anyway, I am going into the greenhouse. And so I will see you there. Stay tuned. Okay. So we are in the greenhouse now. And I am walking in the west end, which is where I have my heater up above here. We have the plexiglass shield to kind of block some of the stream of the heat, so it's not directly on my orchids like it was a little too much last season. So we are in, and this is what it is currently, and I'm just going to continue on with my update. This is my Chysis aurea that has been repotted at the end of the growth season. It is recovering, as I said. Up here is my big specimen, Bobophyllum Doris Dukes, which is the adorable clone. Not doing much of anything. And then over here we have a few of my Laturias, my Spectabile, and then here's my it's Laturia, and I can't think of the name now, but they're just sort of getting watered, a little bit less, remaining warm, good air circulation, good light. And this is a Laturia cross here, which is the tag is here. It's Macrophyllum times Schurachii, and I have both of those. And in fact, that was in my Macrophyllum back here. Back behind that, that's my Silagene multiflora that gave me 2 growths in the summer. No flowers though, unfortunately. Those are very fragrant. They smell like ginger. That's what they smell like. This here is a Silagene, and I repotted it. This is, no, it's Chysis, I'm sorry. This is Chysis lemengii. And I repotted it. Biggest pseudobulb here that's still maturing. Next to this are, this is the black Maxillaria that I got from Yoshi. And then here are a couple of other tenifolias. This is the melon variety that I got from Norman's, and then this is probably the Yamada. Yeah, yellow. Those are both yellow. And then over here I have some more Laturias. This here is my Wondernishi that's starting to push out some spikes. And Laturias are so wonderful because the blooms last long. They are unique. Some of them are fragrant, and they can bloom off of previously bloomed spikes, which is a good thing. Down here are just some more Cattleyas, and here that says Cattleya Miss Mahler, putting up that new growth there. Over here behind me are where I have most of my angricoids. This right here is my crestwood here that bloomed it bloomed this spring, and here are 2 more spikes. Still have those small little growths around the plant. I threw out my Cesspit squidale today. There it is. It was just flopping over in the pot, so I have to get another one of those. That is the king. And my queen is around here somewhere. Over here. There's one of my queens right here. Magdaleni. They like it colder, and unfortunately these plants over here got a bit too cold. But Magdaleni doesn't like it one bit. It doesn't mind it one bit, I'm sorry. But yeah. Everything else seemed to be doing good except for that. Here's my Scotianum. That's doing well. And then I've got two Compactalinas here, and then here's one here. And then this is that cross that I got from Kelly. That is Jim Starr. And here's my Joyce Stewart right there that I got from Peter T. Lynn. And behind there is another, it's an Engranthes grandalina. So, and then I have others behind here, like here is, I think this is my George Kennedy cross. Yeah, Memorial George Kennedy. And then this is the Laos that bloom for me. I have two of those. But I am going to keep moving because they're really not doing much of anything but growing. One thing that I do want to point out is this epidendrum right here, which was a find for me to get, which is Epipens Cove, which has wonderful foliage, and it came in bloom on two spikes. Well, it put out new growths already, 2 or 3 new growths, which is excellent because it had just been repotted. There's my other Magdaleni right here, Angraecum Magdalena, and that's pretty much it for that cart. Just some more Laturias here. This up here is my Equigenera polycycnus that I got. Still alive, still doing well. Okay, let's move a little bit. Let's go around this way. Well, maybe not. Let me take a look at this one. This is one of my prized Robophyllums, and it is, what is it? Kieran Lewis. It's that really deep, intense maroon Bobo. It's a Bill Tom hybrid. I had repotted that, and it is just struggling to acclimate. Up above here, some Encyclias here, and then here is Cattleya Cross. This is a Florida Suncoast orchid that should bloom soon, because I know it's in sheath right there. I think that's Sagitta Spots times Florida Stars. What else? Up above here, this is my Epiparkinsonianum, still growing that growth. Next to it, here is my Moats Purple Rain. And then here is one of my Orchid, it's a Colostylus falcata. And I have another falcata that's right behind this Mark Jones, close to the window back there, that you can see has that growth coming out of it. And this is another falcata right here. You can see the resemblance. Here is a Gongora Euphonia. And up above here are some Brassavola hybrids up here. I think this is a George Kennedy, and that is another cross. Here's my Phalaenopsis gigantea, Phalaenopsis gigantea, with the spikes that are on the plant. And there's the other one. It probably got a little too cold. It just was repotted this year, and I think it's doing okay. It should be starting to elongate and maybe give me some blooms, hopefully. There's my Stanhopea predator up here. They do like a bit of a rest in the winter. And here's another Tigrina. This is my Rogue Giant. Same thing. Okay. Down here is the Stanhopea that I just repotted, which is Yolanda Brack, and look at how much it's grown. It's almost all the way to the end of the pot, and it's still putting up growth, which is a good sign. This is one of my wolf leopards. Oops, I almost lost the plant, and I did lose the other one, which I will get back to here shortly, because I'm picking it up. Can you tell that I barely got my plants in? I gotta pick that back up, because that is one of my bucket list Phalaenopsis right here, which is my Braciana, which likes it a bit cooler. It is a deciduous Phalaenopsis, but it likes to be wet. It doesn't like to dry out too much, but it does want to be drier than in the growth season. And here are some other angricoids that are looking not too hot. That is my Uriangus Victoria Nile. This here I think is Arangus Kochkiana, which has a nice root growing. I lost my Hyloides, which I have to get another one of those. And this is my lady, not lady, but it's cross. It is Lady Lisa Scatianum times Magdaleni. And that's still doing okay on the mount. These are all over here in dappled sun, more shade, and this above here is a Rodriguezia. It doesn't have a tag. Tag is somewhere, but it's a Rodriguezia cross, I want to say. And then above here, this is my Bepi Phoenix Kona. And I have some Brassavolas more up here. Looks, they just finished blooming. Nodosa, and I think that's a Little Stars. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. Here's my Schilleriana, still got its leaves. No sign of a spike yet, although I'm not really going to look too close. And there's my Pulchra that I'm waiting and dying to see bloom. Next to here, this is my Flagellaris, Brassavola flagellaris, that did have this spike, but it blasted. So I do want to see the flowers, and I will be seeing flowers soon on my Barcarias here. This one, you can see there's a spike there, and then here's another one here. This is Barcaria, I'll put the name of it, I can't remember it right now. Can't imagine that I can forget a name, but I have forgotten it now. These Phalaenopsis have all really just recently been repotted, not that one, it doesn't look like it. And here's an epidendrum here, that is Rene Marquez times Pseudoepidendrum. And I'll keep moving on down. Let's go back over this way. Let's see. Here's my Cymbadella that otherwise looks, well, no, let's see, this is cold damage. These like heat, and was healthy before that, and that's all my fault. Some of these other epis here, this is Beetly Limelight. This is my Van Anceps. Here is my Angraecum Eichlerianum. This is a species from like Cameroon and Reunion, and it is more of a vining type. They come from evergreen forests in wet climates. They are fragrant at night. Fragrance is of jasmine. And they can bloom pretty much off and on throughout the year. There's that up there that I'm trying not to disturb too much. This is my division that I took off of that Linford White Beauty. I lost one and I have this one. So I am debating to just leave it up here. I think I'm just going to leave it here. Out of sight, out of mind, because it still probably is acclimating a little bit. I know you all remember that fiasco. Here's my Scudicaria that doesn't look good at all. Here are what's left on the plant. And you can see, I don't think any of that's going to be on there much longer. Here's some of my Bulbophyllums. Over this way, Kinolobiums. This is Jersey. This is Mingaruda. And this is Nymphopolitano. And this just finished maturing its buds, and that was my other shield here that's really not of use for me anymore, that came crashing down, which it had on it my this color here, which is mounted, and actually, it's actually doing really well despite the bloopers that are happening right now. Don't flag me too hard, people. I'm trying my best. But anyway, let's just hang this stuff back up. Have some respect. So there's my disc color. The other thing that came down was my Schomburgkia, which is right here in my left hand, while I straighten up some of the things that have toppled over. And I'm just going to set my Schomburgkia right down there. You see, this is what happens. This needs to be hung somewhere. I'll figure that out later. And this is a disappointment. This is my Suncoast Sienna Stars. And you can see that it's really not even a plant anymore. It's a goner, unfortunately. Here's that other. Actually, here's a couple of plants that I need to get up out of here because they're just flopping down on other plants. Okay, needed to save that topple from Save My Cattleya Iricolor right here that I got from Equigenera. Here is the tag, and it is still got those 3 pseudobulbs with the sheaths on them. Okay, so I think that's it. I've recovered from, the fall, so I can keep moving now, I think. Sorry about all of that, folks. You know how it is. This is a mini snowflake, but it is a gold leaf mini snowflake. And you can see how the leaves are edged in gold. I love mini snowflake. It's a Laturia cross. I believe it's fungi times maybe microchip. I'm not sure. Mini, I don't know. I'm not going to guess. What else over in this area? There's my Phalaenopsis. That's now it's a Miltonia. Not really doing much. Here is my daffodil. BC daffodil still has those sheaths on it. This is one of my BC, the stars. And you can see that is cold damage, completely cold damage. Although on the other hand, my Phalaenopsis look okay. Here is my Dimorphorchis lowii. That was repotted. Looking really nice and healthy. Still growing that new leaf. Other than that, I've got a Schomburg Stanhopea that's getting a nice little soak here. That is Insignis Dark Night. And then in front here, I've got, this has always been in bloom. This is a mean, it's a Corner Cervi cross. I can't think of the name. Mean something. But it's got still a few spikes on it with buds. Really just kind of coming into its own, as is my Valentii here. What else? Here's my Hieroglyphica, one of them. That doesn't look like, that looks like crown rot. I will have to get the dragon's blood for that, although the others look fine. Here is my Violaceae magenta here. That's got a spike. This flower's going over. That was my Joshua Ginsberg. And that's pretty much it for over here. These phals just really finished blooming. Over this way, here is my Den convolutum, which is a species. No, yeah, that's not this. This is convolutum, yeah. In my files, and some of these bobos really don't look so hot. There's my Lindleyanum that I just repotted up in that cocoa husk. It looks okay. As does my this one back here, which is my Cornutum that was just recently repotted, and it hangs out there. Down on this bottom shelf are more Phalaenopsis. Here's a couple buds on that Schilleriana cross. Some Bulbophyllums, and mostly just Phalaenopsis species, really, in spike and various stage of bud. And back up here, here's my Spiceriana Paphiopedilum. That's got 3 spikes. Here's one of my Eranthes grandiflora, and I have another one that's right here. Well, that Bulbophyllum doesn't look so great. Okay. All right. There's a nice growth there on that one, that Cattleya. All right, and there's another Enobulbon Mumnificum. Here is my Richard Mueller, the L. Richard Mueller that I got from Mitzi. Got all of these new growths, which is great. Right here is my BC Helen. That's got a couple of pseudobulbs that have sheaths on them. This is a, I believe this is a Encyclia Guatemalensis or Gracicalis. Actually, it's neither, it's a cross. And here's my Gongora Grossa that just finished blooming here. Really nicely and fragrant. All right. Let's keep going down. And we are presently in front of my Leanthe Chocolate Drop. This is the African Beauty variety, not Kodama. My Kodama is actually up here. I have 2 of them. There's this one that's mounted, and I have another This one that's mounted right here, attached to this, whatever you call it. There's my copper queen. And then I have another, it's right here. And looks like the sheaths are filling up. This is chocolate drop. My cordata just finished blooming. That's a Brassavola species. Sorry for the light. My then hibiki still trying to bloom. And I can see right now that this Dick Pippin is not loving where it's at. You see that? I hate that. So I've got to move that somewhere else, like pronto. I'll just set it here. No, I'm just going to set it here for the time being until I dry that off. That's probably what it is. I need to dry off. There's my BC Gyrat Kiku that looks not so hot, but it's been in bloom for a while. And I tell you, I am smelling something around this area. I can't imagine that it's this. No, it's not that. It's definitely not that. Could it be? It's that. Very softly fragrant is chocolate drop. So, another one that doesn't need any explanation on why I like it. Above here, this is my BC Erosion, which should be blooming soon. Up above there, this is one of my cucullata crosses. In fact, I think this is it is a cucullata cross, but I'm not going to grab the tag out. Next to here is a Trichoglottis species, which is Geminata, and it's got those nubbins that should be spikes. And next to it is another species that bloomed this year. This is my Orchidea, Trichoglottis orchidea. Back here, this is my Phalaenopsis Fasciata with that Kiki. Again, this is my Copper Queen. That's okay, and like I said, that's my North Miami. And Mimi Palmer. This is a Brassavola hybrid back here. More encyclias. There's a Trichosyntium carthaginosus that bloomed really nicely and put up a nice growth. I hope that spikes for me. Back here, further back here, this is my Collagenea speciosa that's given me a couple new growths around the plant. This is my Den Unicum. Back here is my Arangus modesta in shade, and here's my Eranthes cordata also in shade. And I have a couple of my Dicheas back this way. Here's another one back here. And this is something that needs to be moved out, which is my Angraecum pseudo filicornum. That's what it is, pseudo filicornum. This needs to be moved somewhere where it gets more light. And so I'll just stick it up there. It's mounted. And I'll stick it here, which is conveniently resting on a cousin, which is Eranthes ramosa. I think it's giving me another leaf. And of course I have more Brassavolas up here. They're just kind of hanging out. This is a cucullata. And this is another Flagellaris. And then these are hybrids. Here is my Trichosyntium Stacyi, which I put on there. Put it on this mount, and it took to the mount. You can see it's got the roots all around it, and it gave me 3 growths. Here is my Jason Fuchs, one of them that bloomed. Here is another. This is a Splendidum splendidum. Here is another, this is my another Jason Fuchs here. And here is Wilsonii, or Johnsonii, I'm sorry. And here is another Trichocentrum, which is my Lilianoka. And this is another Trichocentrum here, which is a species. So I love my Trichocentrums, as you know. And here's another Mulier. Nanum, that is very fragrant. They did bloom for me. Okay, but no blooms right now, unfortunately. Here is a bloom here. This is in Epitimes walkeriana. Nice pastel-y, spotted, little, I don't know if I showed that very so well. Here's my Dan Hancocki, as you can see in the dark. My Anobobom rulificum that is still putting out that growth. Here is Alalia. This is Anceps alba. That's in spike, 3, 4 spikes. And I did show you my Daichias here. And this Daichia that's here in the shade. And then here's my Daichia glauca. All mounted. And here are my Cornicervis. Okay. Just didn't want you to miss anything. Various encyclias, Passavelas. And Direct Firestar. A beauty. And fragrance. Really, really nice. Up above here, this is my Ioniella polystachys, barely hanging on. And here is my Sobanicophia Humbertianum. Here's my Baptia grape wax. And here is my Epidendrum or Colostylus or Steady, but it's Purea, that's what it is. But it's got some growth that are still maturing on the plant. Here's my Grammatophyllum stepuliflorum that has those 2 growths. Here is my Jumelia fragrance, still doing well, and so is my Angraecum distichum, which I am ignoring. That's right there. And I've got some mounted things here. This is my Miltonia candida that Tony Wells gave me that has matured those growths. And right up here is my Dan Alexandrii that I love, maturing that growth. And front here on this table are most of my multifloral paths, alongside a couple of Laturias that are not doing so well. And crash goes that Epidendrum that needs to be dried off. So let me place it in another spot. How about there? No, let's just place it there, and then I'll come back to it. So we're over here, and these are my multiflorals. There are Epidendrums in here amongst, but mostly multiflorals. And this is my species, and this is my Dornishi. This is a Louisia Retiflora that is in the Angricoid family. It's a Madagascan well, it's not an angricoid, it's a Madagascan species, I should say, but it's often crossed with other Vanda types, other vining type orchids. And this is not going to stay here, but this is the plant, and it gets its flowers from along the stem. And of course, down below here on this table is my fragrant corner that has my Phalaenopsis here. Some doing better than others. Most of this is due to the cold. My heater down here that I depend on really was not being consistent. Most mornings that I would come out, it would be off. So I really have some work to do when it comes to getting this whole area back together as far as my Phalaenopsis here, my Bellinas and my Samaras and those hybrids. And then as we move down, there's more paths. Here's my Acreopsis that is still in bloom. But yeah, there's some Bulbophyllums here. This is my Cocoinum, and here is this is the Longiflorum, and here is a Paraphalaenopsis. But just kind of growing, not really doing much, as are these other multifloral paths here. My Stony Eye is here with those two growths. This is my Henrianum, and then this is my Hermanii. So moving on down, here's my Angraecum veitchii, which is a hybrid, and I need to go back this way because I completely forgot some plants that are resting. I'm just kind of showing you. These are all Brassavola hybrids, Cattleyas, just kind of getting some light. This is an epidendrum. So yeah, that's this, and here is some buds, and this is my Miyaka Stars. That is a Florida Suncoast. And here's another Sertorchis. And here is my Hoke Glossum that doesn't look so great. And here's another Trichocentum. This is my Splendidum that gave me a really, really nice growth. And before I bump my head in it, these two spikes are on Laelia rubescens, that is a cross. And you can see there are buds forming very nicely. And here as well on this other spike. Okay. So back down in this area, there's just more Brassavolas that Cattleya. And then I've got, this is Lemon Drop here, that's got those buds. Got some Phalaenopsis back here. And this is where I also have my Guarianthes that are kind of resting. There's my EPLC Charlie Brown that's got sheaths on it. This is my Catlianthe Rojo that is got a sheath. And yeah. Here's my Parkinsonianum, Colostylus, and just various encyclias that are back here. There's my Dendrobium. Here is that species. This is Colostylus viviparum, and I know there is a spike on here somewhere. If I can locate it. It's still on the plant. Yeah. Well, anyway, it was in spike. I'm not sure what it's doing now. But, that. Down there, this looks like my Encyclia bacalis that I got that division from SVO this summer. Down there, that's my that's my Martin Wolf down there on the ground that I got. Here's my Densocatum that I repotted here. And I just got various plants that are on this rack. Brassavolas. Here's my Prostechia. You know what I'm talking about. The one that I love. That blooms every spring for me. There's my Angraecum compactum there. And there's another one right next to it. Here's my Rufum, which looks like it's got some cold damage. Hopefully it'll make it through. I can't really get any further down, but I know I have my nesters down there. I see a sheath rat up there on a Cattleya. And these are my resting ones. Besides that one, that is a Butiana, Prostechia Butiana. This is my Wardii, I believe, and then here's my Densonii right over there. So those are getting a little bit of a rest. But the others look okay. I think, no, I was looking for, there's my Encyclia stretch. Hopefully that blooms. That should be blooming now. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on here late November. It's the day before Thanksgiving, to be specific. Also here on this humidifier is this Suncoast cross. It's Laelia cross. I think it's rubescens maybe. No, that's not it. It's my standard setter. Well, it's Suncoast Aurean blush. That's what it is. And it's Flagellaris crossed with Laelia aurea. And that's really a beautiful, beautiful plant. And it's giving me a spike. That's probably going to blast, but that one is still going on. And then there's another one that's low right there. So hopefully I'll be able to show you those flowers soon. But that appears to be all that is going on at the moment. Things are just hanging out in their winter spot. This Tampensis did not do so well that I got from Jeff. Yeah, that does appear to be all that I see. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks. And enjoy your orchids as always. I know you do. And there's another spike coming on my, apple drop. There's my Calceolaris, just finishing up its stones. But, thanks for watching.